Stephen, good morning. Thank you for joining us today.
Good morning. Pleasure.
I know that you'll be showing off your Ford Evos concept car at the show, Stephen. Just tell us a little bit about that, because I know that various elements of the car, various technologies, will be used in not the near too distant future.
Well, actually, it offers several things. Firstly, it's a design language opportunity for us. It's a signpost of where we can take the design of our cars in future. And whilst we won't build this car, key elements will be picked up in the design. And as you rightly said, it's absolutely loaded with technology, all of which we're working on. Of course, the time frame is different in terms of delivery.
Stephen,
I particularly like the one that liaises with your alarm clock to wake you up later because your meeting's been cancelled.
Oh, really? What other technologies might appeal to a man like me who's not really very auto-savvy?
Well, I mean, if your meeting's been cancelled, none of mine ever get cancelled, but perhaps yours do. It knows that you can start later. It knows you've got a longer time to drive to work. And it actually offers you a more dynamic route. It calibrates the car to drive in a more dynamic fashion. It reads your heartbeat through the steering wheel and the seat. It knows you're reaching actually the limits of your driving capability. So it phases out some of the other dials. So it just cuts off your phone. Just goes on silent mode, so you look at the speedo and another aspect that's key to driving. So, obviously it depends on the driver's capability.
Stephen, all this comes as Ford Europe, I know in the second quarter, pre-tax profit fell 45%. I mean, sales, though, rising. We know what's happening amidst the economy. How do you intend to generate more money in Europe? Because, as we say, pre-tax profits are falling, but sales are rising, aren't they?
Well, first half profits, of course, were up year over year. I'm sure that didn't pass you by.
Yeah.
And we're part of the One Ford plan, which means calibrate to the reality that you face. The industry is becoming a little more difficult, but our key... Actually, we come to the Frankurt show really full of ambition because we're investing in products and the reality of those products is starting to come through. Yesterday, we announced our August results, up 19% year on year. 7/10 of a point, 8/10 of a point actually up on share, driven by products like the C-Max and Focus.
But the reality right now in Europe, Stephen, is a possible default by Greece, and who knows what the contagion effects might be in Spain, in Italy, and in some of the other countries within the Eurozone. If such an eventuality takes place, if Greece does default, how well placed is Ford Europe for the ensuing, what many say, chaos?
Yeah, I don't know what happens if Greece default, and frankly that's the job of the politicians to make sure that we have a plan that gives us sustainability. And I mean, the biggest aspect we face at the moment is consumer confidence. We'll cut our cloth according to what takes place in the European theatre, but there are opportunities for us as well. We're just about to start our Russian joint venture. Russia will be the largest industry. It's growing dramatically. In the next 4 or 5 years, it will be 4.5 to 5 million units. Turkey, another growing market, we're market leaders. So there are opportunities for growth if you look for them.
But you say it's up to the politicians. I mean, are you frustrated by the politicians? I mean, this crisis has been going on for 3 years. The auto industry has transformed itself in those 3 years. What's your message to the politicians, specifically of Europe, who can't seem able to come up with a unified plan to resolve the crisis?
Yeah, well, I think the crisis has morphed and changed and developed, so I'm not going to be critical of politicians, but I do believe that we have to have a group that understands that we're in a difficult position, not the car industry, the European economy, the global economy, and put something in place that resolves it, that's sustainable, and allows people to start talking about the future on the basis of knowing where they are today.
Just a final question. I mean, Ford, of course, sold off Jaguar, Aston Martin and Land Rover, and all three companies have done remarkably well since the sell-off, largely because of the designs under the auspices of Ford. I mean, how does that make you feel, and might you go back into the premium segment?
I think it makes Ford feel good that they were good custodians of the brand, that we left them, we moved them on to good owners who will look after the brands. we're able actually to move our price points up because of some of the aspects that you see on the Evos concept car that allows us to get better margins, more premium features. Not a premium car company, but actually there's a massive span of opportunity between the lowest and the upper levels of prices that people will pay for vehicles.
Stephen, thanks for joining us today. We'll speak to you soon. Stephen Odell there, the Chief Executive Officer of Ford Europe, speaking to us live from the Frankfurt Motor Show.